Yeah, and within a year he had completely transformed himself physically and emerged as this rock star, just out of nowhere.
But now they don't just think I'm Bill Hicks, they think Rush Limbaugh is Jim Morrison.
I felt it was also journalistically responsible to point out, on the other hand, there are those who won't have any of this. Jim is not dead, they claim, and I have to point out that this isn't as far-fetched as it might initially seem, because the guy had the exact type of personality that would stage his own death. He had the motivation to do it, he had the ability to do it, and he had the means to do it. He had the money, he had the reason, and he had the cause. He was up for jail time in Miami. The trial was going through appeals. He had the money to do it, and he was the type of personality that would do it.
On the record, Jim Morrison's 1971 death was from natural causes. But off the record, there have been numerous legends associated with his passing. Fellow Doors member Ray Manzarek has heard them all.
Well, here are the possibilities in terms of Jim Morrison's death. One, he died of natural causes and self-induced excess. Or Jim was murdered. Who knows what the CIA might have been capable of back then? Or Jim Morrison staged the whole thing.
And you're listening to the Rush Limbaugh Show. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to my good friend Ken Lay. Faked his own death, listening in on a ham radio somewhere in international waters. Smooth sailing, Kenny boy.
I'm real bound to the city life. Flashlights when we're falling into that night. Focused on what you feel just when you're recalling about that night.
The father of Jim Morrison was George Stephen Morrison, a United States Navy Rear Admiral and naval aviator. Morrison was commander of the United States Naval Forces in the Gulf of Tonkin during the Gulf of Tonkin incident of August 1964, a false flag which sparked an escalation of American involvement in the Vietnam War. Like his father, Jim Morrison followed in his footsteps and was recruited into the CIA's Operation Chaos, an operation that was designed to infiltrate anti-war movements. Jim Morrison was one of the many children of military personnel that were sent to Laurel Canyon. Laurel Canyon was a breeding ground to train these individuals. The Doors and even the Manson family were created inside Laurel Canyon. And just like clockwork, once the Vietnam War was over, Jim Morrison supposedly died and his job was done.
Not long before he emerged as this figure that we see here, it was a very much different Jim Morrison, very clean-cut, collegiate, almost unrecognizable. You know, seeing his father off as he was about to leave, I think sailed out of San Diego for the Gulf of Tonkin, and within a year he had completely transformed himself physically and emerged as this rock star, just out of nowhere. I mean, just an amazing physical transformation and an amazing transformation from someone who had expressed no interest in music whatsoever to, you know, just like overnight becoming this huge international star.
He was, the Doors, the whole scene that they emerged from, largely considered to be the leaders of an anti-war movement. Obviously, we know what happened with the Doors as they continued, but what blew me away, Dave, Jim died the same day his father gave a speech on the decommissioning of the ship that he was the rear admiral on during the Gulf of Tonkin.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very strange.
That's really weird.
Very strange timing, yeah, to say the least.
The CIA's other radio talk show host creation, Alex Jones, Bill Hicks, who also faked his death and had a familiar upbringing in a CIA military family. Jim Morrison was a rock star. Bill Hicks was a comedian. They are put in front of large crowds, and if they excel, they are moved up in ranks. Alex Jones is being groomed to one day replace Rush Limbaugh.
You know, I saw the latest conspiracy. I think I sent it to Nico. Because it's sad, but all these schizophrenics and mentally ill people that are now online, they have a voice, which is good. Everybody has a voice now.
Sure.
But now they don't just think I'm Bill Hicks. They think Rush Limbaugh is, wait for it, Jim Morrison. Oh, my God. I mean, that one is even better.
That was a good one, Alex. I've got a fire hydrant out there I want to introduce you to.
Oh, yeah.
You'll love it. Love it per se.
You know, actually, since I put those ears on, I have been peeing on fire hydrant. And it's my right to do it.
That's right.
It's my right. I deserve a courage award. There it is. Rush Limbaugh, a.k.a. Jim Morrison, was Bill Hicks, a.k.a. Alex Jones' influence to get on radio. So that's how it's all connected. I mean, look at this. This is not satire. These people actually, back it up. They actually, on this video, show side by side and say Rush Limbaugh's Jim Morrison. They're so crazy.
Yeah, I know. How silly can you be? I mean, everybody knows you're actually Karl Rove.
Oh, man.
Had a girl in every port, from here to Barcelona. But now I'm docked in Springfield, and girl, I'm gonna phone ya. I stoned a lot of beaches, but you're the one that I missed. Let's get back together, girl. Let's re-enlist.
Ow, hot, hot, hot.
So sign me up for a hitch of love. Recruit my heart for sweet years of love.
Everybody ball walk. Oh,
Looking good, guys. And double time. That's it. Protect the country.
Groovy, dude.
Burn down the barbershop. I hate America.
Lieutenant Smash! Oh, Admiral. The hippie fantasy again?
We're getting less frequent, sir.
Excellent. Well, there's no easy way to say this. The new administration is shutting down Project Boy Band.
Shutting it down? Permission to say that's crazy, sir.
You won't say it's crazy when you see next week's issue of Mad Magazine.
Oh, dear God.
When this satirical bombshell hits the stands tomorrow, your band will have as much recruiting power as a wax apple.
I don't follow, sir.
It's over, LT.
Ha! Let's march all day and clean the streets all night.
don't bust me down. Let's re-up tonight. Let's re-up tonight.
Oh, know, and just so happens Jack Posobiec, as everybody knows, has a pipeline directly to the White House every day, writing reports for him. He just so happens to be naval intelligence as well. They are not happy at this point because there is a wind on down the road, my friends. Ha ha.
Drummer John Densmore had seen enough.
John tossed his sticks on the floor and said, "That's it. Never again." The decision was, we will never perform in public again. We will never go on stage again.
But while they'd never play together live again, the Doors continued to record. They began work on their 6th album, LA Woman. But recording alone was not enough for Jim.
He lived on performing. How else could he get the word out about what he thought if he didn't tour? How else was he going to get his message across? How else was he going to be able to bring the gospel of St. Jim to the crowd?
I think he began to think, well, I've got to get my life together. Maybe going to Paris, I can come up with some new things. I can define myself more as a poet. I can get away from the things causing me trouble, and, you know, I'll start anew.
Now